Hey, it's Karma here, and today we're going to be discussing what is the best team possible to create during the point 0.5 Anime Vanguards update. But before this video starts, if you're new here to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Please consider liking this video if you enjoyed it, and it really helps me and supports me out. But anyway, back to the video. So, before we start, I just want to say a small disclaimer. I just want to say that this is not, I'm not saying this is the best team. This is just opinion of mine. Other people's opinions, your opinions could be different. But I'm just saying this is what I consider to be the best team in the 0.5 update of Anime Vanguards, right? So I'm not saying that this is the best. I'm just saying this is what I think is the best. And other people have differing opinions. So they could think that this unit is better than this unit. You should use this unit. Why would you use that unit? But yeah, no. I will say that this isn't like fact, isn't verified. I just think it gives you the best results. But yeah. So let me start off with your first ever unit that you should use. Okay, so as you can see, I have no team. I have no members or units in any of these slots, 1 to 6. So, what should I do first when building a team? Well, simple. Scroll down if you can scroll down and click on Speedwagon. If you don't have any units to scroll down to, then obviously Speedwagon should be relatively close. But everyone else should have more than like 10 units in their slots. So, Speedwagon, click on him and add him. So, why should we have Speedwagon in our team? Well, it's simple. If you click him and look at his passive, you can read what it says here. It earns him yen, it earns you yen, every time a new wave appears. Now you might think, okay, so what, I get money anyways. Well, that's because Speedwagon makes you more money than the money that you're already given every wave. If you have more money, then you can have more units that you can put down and even upgrade them quickly. That's what Speedwagon does. He enables you to make things go a lot smoother than if you don't have him. Not having Speedwagon in your team actively hinders you, in fact, because it takes longer, you have to wait longer, you won't even get the full upgrades maxed on any damage dealer that you have. So Speedwagon should be your number one character that you should always have in building any team, ever. Now, I will make some exceptions. Now, if you come here, as you can see, Takarota is also a money unit. He makes you more money than Speedwagon, but he costs more to place down. Now, you might be thinking, okay, if Takarota makes you more money, why not use him over Speedwagon? Well, the answer is simple. Both Takarota and Speedwagon have different types of game modes they excel in. Takarota is a long wave money unit, while Speedwagon is a short wave money unit. Takarota, he is a money unit that you heavily invest in. In return, he gives you more. You are investing in the long game if you use Takarota. Speedwagon, on the other hand, costs less but makes less. He's generally used for short games, such as Waves 15, while Takarota excels in Waves Infinite to like Waves 30. These game modes are where they excel in. Now, Takarota is different to Speedcart, as in he can't be sold while Speedwagon can, which is a lot useful since you can get back your money that you invested in Speedwagon in short waves, rather than Takarota's unable to be sold during long waves. If we are talking infinites, then obviously Takarota is your go-to, but then again, this is a generalist team meant for to be used all-purpose all around. So Speedwagon will be your number one choice to go with in a generalist team. That is why you should pick Speedwagon. Okay, we filled our first slot. Who should fill our second spot? Since we have 5 slots left, who should fill the second? Well, this has many different strategies from many different players. Some players like playing very far back, some players like playing up front. Me personally, I am an up front player who likes to have enemies be deleted as soon as possible when they spawn in. Now, to help me achieve this, I always like to have an early wave defender. What is an early wave defender? Well, as you can tell, it is a unit that can defend your early waves. Now, what are the early waves? I say around 3 to 8. I feel like that's pushing it too far, but these early wave defenders will help you defend those waves while you set up your farms to be max level to make you the most amount of money in the late game. Now, who are these early wave defenders that you might ask? Well, it's simple. Here are 3 early wave defenders that you should have on your team. Either one works, you can have all 3, but personally, 1 should be enough since they always protect you from every wave until you get your main TPS down. Now, if you're looking for an early wave defender, the first choice that comes up to mind has to be Akaza. Akaza is a very good all-around unit, especially for early wave defending, that you should at least have him. If you don't have the other two, that's also fine. These guys work. Again, it's a 1 out of 3. You choose your favorite, you choose whatever you prefer. I don't personally prefer Akaza, simply because of his high SPA, which kind of ruins everything, but Akaza is still a relatively good choice. He's decent, not strong, but not weak, and you should at least have him if you don't have the other two on your team. So Akaza is the first choice for having an early wave defender. Now, for our second choice on who we should choose as an early wave defender has to be Naruto Six Tales. Now, you might be asking, why did I say Naruto Six Tales instead of Naruto? Well, that's because Naruto's pre-evolution, Naruto Sage Mode, has no attack that can hit more than once. This is what we call a multi-hit attack. Now, multi-hit attacks are pretty rare on placement, which is why there's only 3 that you should consider looking out for, especially for the early wave, and I will list the last one later, but Akaza, Naruto falls into this category. And there is a unit I will mention later on that's not the early wave defender that also multi-hits on placements, but is not viable to be placed down. So, Naruto Six Tales is pretty much better than Akaza. He has this passive which allows him to be pretty much 5.2 second SPA rather than his 6.1, as you can see. He's certainly much better than Akaza, but the only downside with Naruto Six Tales is that you do have to evolve him, which you might want to invest those essences into another character. So that is the only downside. But Naruto Six Tales is definitely the better option between Akaza, but Akaza does have the option of being placed down as a non-evo with a multi-hit attack. So it's between who you want to choose, and that is fine, but I think the last character that I will mention is probably your go-to unit that you should be getting, since he is quite more valuable than the other 2 I mentioned. Now, for the last early wave defender, and one that I recommend to everyone, has to be Vegeta Super. Vegeta Super is one of the best early wave defenders in the game. This is not only the cheapest out of the 3 early wave defenders I mentioned, but he's also the one that does his job the best. Now, Vegeta Super is definitely, I recommend, the best out of the 3 that I mentioned here. His low SPA is what makes him so good, and his multi-hit attack is what makes him pretty much the best early game unit that you can have. One Vegeta is pretty much able to carry you until waves 10, and at that point you should have a new DPS unit that will do all the damage, so you can rest Vegeta earlier and sell him for more money to upgrade for better units. But Vegeta is definitely the best, especially since his passive allows him to minus 20% SPA if only Vegeta is placed down, and if there are no other units that are not named Vegeta is in his range. So this 5.2 SPA will become 4.6. That is 20% SPA reduction. 4.2. That is pretty much a reduction in like a second off. So Vegeta will constantly be able to attack no matter who is in his range. No matter how far he goes, he'll be able to attack from first to last. He is the best unit you should have for early wave defense. Okay, so we have our early wave defender. We have our farm unit. Who should we add now? Well, that is the fun part. We can now mix and match whoever we want to add. What do I mean by that? Well, first rule of thumb, if you have Igris, add him. If you have Alucard, add him. If you have Rengoku, add him. If you have Sunjin Woo, add him. There's your team. That is your team. Again, if you have all those guys, add them. They're pretty much your best generalist team that you can go to. And they pretty much carry you. I mean, Igris, Alucard, and Sunjin Woo, those 3 carry for me. Heck, I don't even use Sunjin Woo anymore, so I could just drop him out, add another character. But these 2 are pretty much my go-to now, ever since I got them, since their comboing is absolutely insane. But again, not all of you guys have these characters. You don't have Igris, you don't have Rengoku, you don't have Alucard. Don't bother. A good alternate replacement is Tangen. Now, why do I say Tangen is a great replacement? Well, because Tangen has full AoE, especially on his last few upgrades. His last few upgrades is the same as Igris, where he gets full AoE. But unlike Igris, Tangen actually gains multi-hit on his upgrades. So unlike Igris, who gets multi-hit on his last upgrade, Tangen gets it relatively sooner. At upgrade 2 is when he gets multi-hit twice, I believe. And then he gets his string attack, which is like 5 or 6. I don't remember. I'm not a big fan of his string attack, but some others might disagree with me. So it's fine. But Tangen is quite better than Igris at multi-hits. So shields, where Vegeta can shine, is a lot better with Tangen since only 2 upgrades are needed to get his 2-hit multi-hit. But yeah, Igris is a great Tangen is a great alternative to Igris. So if you don't have Tangen, then you should probably consider getting him. Again, I will say there is another alternative for multi-hit, but Igris, if you don't have him, get Tangen. Tangen is pretty much your Alucard replacement. Tangen is your Igris replacement, and he's generally good all around. He's pretty much your main DPS at that point. But yeah, another alternative that you can summon is Sun Jin Woo. Again, Sun Jin Woo is just pretty good all around. His ability to summon like shadows from enemy takedowns is really nice. But the only downside to Sun Jin Woo is that he does cost a lot to get his upgrade, unlike Tengen, which you might find that a little annoying, but either way, you can have these two together. Pick who you like as your main DPS. Keep in mind, Tengen has full AoE, while Sun Jin Woo has 2-hit multi-hit, but his main DPS probably comes from his shadows. I'm not quite keen on Sun Jin Woo anymore ever since I have Igris Alucard, but I guess for people who don't. But for people who don't, then it's fine if you don't have them. Sun Jin Woo, Tengen, they both work. Cheyenne is also a very nice character to have. She's very strong. She's actually, I believe they say she's the cheapest unit to upgrade. So she's really good. Plus, she's pretty much a full AoE Tengen or like an Alucard or an Igris, because even though she has like that 25% missing like attack, like for keep her for full AoE, she's still very strong. Like there's like minimal chance of them getting not hit by that one small area. Though the downside is that she does lose, I believe, some of her multi-hit on her final upgrade, which is fine. She makes up for it in like her numbers. But yeah, no, she's fine. You can have them. Again, it's really a mix and match. If you like having increased damage, Haruka can be added. Or if you want them to be slowed down, Alligator. If you want them to be stunned, Sasuke. If you want them to be pushed back, Agni. Again, it's a mix and match. Choose your pick your poison. And that is probably my only guide to the best team in the game. Alright, so here is my team. I can show you. This is my main team right now. It's Sun Jin Woo with Igris pairing, along with Alucard, Vegeta for early game defense, and then Tengen's just there for moral support. Since I don't really use Tengen that much, since I have Igris, Alucard, he's not really used that much, but he is a nice addition to my team. So, anyways, as I said before, this is really just mix and match your preference. Anime Vanguards has some of the best Vanguards. Well, I won't say best balancing, but they have decent units where all units are viable, right? They do their role right. They do their role well. Again, some do their role better than others, but there's really not an option where I go, oh, use this unit over this one. I mean, in some cases, yes, but only because your units probably don't have this. So if you don't have Igris, go for Tengen. There are always some replacement, always some off-brands, which does their job even better than, say, the original. So yeah, don't fuss too much. If you need a bleed unit, then Bean or Beam from Chainsaw Man is your option instead of Alucard. Again, Alucard is actually really bad at applying bleed, so you might recommend Bean over otherwise, since he does pretty well. I think Inosuke is also a bleed unit, but anyways, apart from that, that's all I have to say. In this case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I won't say anything else, but make sure to watch my next videos when they come out. So, without further ado, I'll leave you guys with this one. Bye!